Hey guys, I want to come up here and talk about this situation with Nicholas Cruz, where they're saying he's receiving a bunch of fan mail. Now, I couldn't care less about the fan mail that he's getting from, these white supremacist females. What's mostly interesting to me is that it appears he had the coon friend as well. And we already know Nicholas Cruz, who shot up the Parkland school. He was a notorious white supremacist. So that's just the reality of what it is. Before I get into that, I am going to be doing a live stream, you guys, today. I'll probably be doing it around 5 or 6 o'clock West Coast time. And there's a couple of things that I do want to talk about, and then I want to do a Q&A. And then on Sunday, I'm probably going to be doing the Patreon exclusive live stream on that day. That live stream won't be posted publicly, so only people who subscribe to Patreon will be included in that live stream. If you want to subscribe to Patreon to get the exclusive content that's uploaded daily, you can do that by referring to the information that'll be pinned to the top of the comments. I'll put the link in there. But with the pathology of these cavelings, you can look all throughout history where serial killers, some of the most notorious ones, rapists, murderers, they all end up being able to find whatever they need despite being in jail. There's a whole TV show dedicated to people falling in love with and marrying felons and people in jail. So one of the most prolific things, though, is the whole, whenever somebody's like a serial killer, them being able to find fans and getting love mail and things of that sort. So with this white supremacist terrorist, you have the same thing happening. And they're saying it's a bunch of crazed girls, but the reality of it is these are probably actually adults who are doing it. And so I want to play this video, and then I'll get back to it, and then I'll kind of go into another article that's showing that he's gained a coon for a friend too. And that right there, again, I can go all day into that pathology, and I probably will go into a little of it here, but I want to get into this video first. So we'll go over it, and then we'll come back for some commentary.
Be hard to believe and even harder to stomach, but teenage girls, women, and even older men are sending letters to the suspected mass murderer, Nicholas Cruz.
Stacks of fan mail and love letters are now piling up at the Broward County Jail. CBS 12's Lulu Ortiz joins us live outside the jail tonight in Fort Lauderdale with a closer look at these letters and an expert's view behind the killer's groupies. Lulu?
Now, Nicholas Cruz remains here behind bars on suicide watch, so he has not seen any of the letters. Now, many find it very disturbing because these letters are coming from all over the world, mostly from teenage girls. If you need to talk, I'll listen. Only if you're comfortable. Please send me a picture of yourself. I will continue to pray for you and your brother. You can write back. These are just a few examples among the stacks of fan mail obtained by our partners at the Sun Sentinel. Hundreds writing to Nicholas Cruz, men and women, young and old, from all over the world, from New York to as far as Germany. Some offering friendship, encouragement, or even money. Most of the letters from teenage girls include a description of what they look like or a provocative photo.
There's a certain charisma attached to these people.
Clinical and forensic psychologist Dr. Lawrence Miller says fans or groupies are usually people who are lonely or feel they are unlovable and see Cruz as a person they want to save.
Serial killers, mass murderers, what they're doing there is they're going one step further. They're identifying with these individuals because it gives them a sense of potency and power.
These fans created Facebook pages proclaiming Cruz's innocence. Others sympathize with Cruz because they say he was bullied, orphaned, and diagnosed with mental illness.
Any situation like this is difficult to for some people to fathom, which is one of the reasons we're writing about it, is to, it's just, there's this segment of society that is attracted to this type of thing.
Now, to learn more about these letters from our partners at the Sun Sentinel, to what they're writing and the people who are sending these letters, just head to our website, cbs12.com, to watch our entire interview and to read their story. Reporting live outside the Broward County Jail in Fort Lauderdale, Lulu Ortiz, CBS 12 News.
Now, look, the thing of it is, this is why when they do these marches on gun rights and they sit here and talk about, you know, the victims of Parkland or whatever institution was shot up by these.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Sorry about that. But like I was saying, this is why whenever you have these marches and things and that stuff, you know, I support people who discourage Black people from actually participating in them, because they can sit here and tell you, okay, there's some teenagers who are sending him stuff, but there was also grown people all over the country and globally. This is why I don't understand why Black people like to involve themselves in the supposed plight of cavelings, when really all that it is a bunch of self-inflicted white on white crime. So I don't understand. So that's one of the things. If they're going to praise this dude and be groupie and love them, first of all, you shouldn't be getting in their battles anyway, because white on white crime has nothing to do with Black people. It doesn't really affect you. Black people are not out here shooting up schools. These cavelings are. And if they really cared about it, they would do something about their pathology. They're showing the pathology of their women in this country and their children in the country, because the reality of it is, even if these are teenagers, their mothers raised them. Okay, so if you're raised to the degree that you think it's okay to support a murderer who just went and shot up school, I couldn't care how much he was picked on. I couldn't care what fake mental illnesses he had. He went and shot up a whole school full of people. But yet you have coons associating themselves with these movements, with cavelings that has nothing to do with them. Okay, now this dude is a murderer. He is not a child. He is a murderer. He's not an orphan. He's a murderer. Okay, so that's just the reality of it. But you have a bunch of people, and they'll try to do whatever they can to try to make him look as innocent as they possibly can. But this is a psychotic killer. And then you have Black people aligning themselves with their movement. But again, what does that do to affect you? Okay, so these are some of the letters and some of the fan mail that they're getting. Hi, Nick, this is not hate mail, nor is it a fan letter. I can only imagine what went through your mind that day, but I'm guessing you've had time to rethink your actions. I hope so. You effed up big time, and I bet you know that. I just want you to know there is at least one person out here who doesn't want to kill you. You're in a tough spot, Nick, and that is something I know because I've been there myself. If you need something, I can mail to you. Ask. If you need to talk, I'll listen. I can be your friend from New York, and I can help you if you want that. Now, the thing of it is this is the reason why I'm saying this, because you have a lot of Black people who run around trying to get the approval of these cavelings, okay? But if they're willing to sit up here and stand behind people who are murdering them, they don't even care about their children or their other community enough to protect them from themselves, what makes you think as a Black person that they're going to support you? Black people will sit here and tolerate them villainizing Black victims of police brutality, despite the fact that they'll sit here and see how they'll coddle a mass murderer who killed white people, actually. Okay? That's a problem. But this is the pathology of Black people. So these are some more of the things that they're sending. Justice for Nick and all this other stuff. This is a psychopathic killer. This is their mentality. I will continue to pray for you and your brother. You can write back if you like. They're sick. Cruz, don't let him die. And how can I visit him? Again, this is just ridiculous. These are Facebook posts where they stand with him. If they're willing to stand with a murderer, why are Black people out there trying to be the face of their movement that's only going to benefit them? This one said, okay, Nick family, I can't hold a candle in the wind to how beautiful everyone is here. I actually hate taking pictures of myself, but I plan on making a collage of all of us. I want him to see how many people love and care for him and all the beautiful faces. Only if you're comfortable, please send me a picture of yourself. Okay. Now we're going to go into this story that you see right here. I want you guys to notice with this this Fox News headline, Parkland suspect. Notice how they're saying suspect. If he's been arrested, he's in jail. They've already confirmed he's done this, okay? One 18-year-old from Texas reportedly professed her love to Cruz in a March 15 letter adorned with smiley faces and hand-drawn hearts, okay? When I saw your picture of the television, something attracted me to you. The fact that she's a psychopath just like him. The letter said, your eyes are beautiful and the freckles on your face make you so handsome. This dude looked like a disgusting, choked, wet rat. And this is, the thing is, I don't want to see any black people on their social media accounts whenever there's attacks against white people talking about pray for Parkland. Why are you praying for them and they're celebrating the killer? Teenage girls, women, and even older men are writing to the Parkland school shooter and sending photographs, some suggestive, tucked inside cute greeting cards. Groupies also are joining Facebook communities to talk about how to help the killer. Okay, but again, they just had a march for our lives, and black people entertain that. Meanwhile, they're over here praising and trying to cuddle up with and love and support the killer who did it. The massively flatly concludes, I'm really skinny and have 34 C-size breasts. Another Texas woman reportedly sent a bizarre handwritten love note less than a week after Cruz gunned down 17 people February 14th at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. So at this point, this dude is a serial killer. Again, with the Caveling community, let them self-destruct on their own. It's really not that big of an issue for them. But what they'll do is Coons they'll let them use him at the face of it. I reserve the right to care about you, Nicholas. Read the unsolicited declaration. Nicholas and Zachary Cruz reportedly discussed their newfound popularity in a jail visit, okay? A Chicago woman reportedly sent Cruz numerous suggestive photos, including one in which she slurps a popsicle while wearing a bikini and another in which shows off her backside for the camera. Cruz, who jail officials say has received nearly $800 in donations to his prison commissary account since the shooting, has also caught the eyes of some members of his own sex. A New Yorker with a bushy mustache sent Cruz a card featuring a cat and a photo of himself sitting in a white 1992 Nissan convertible, according to the Sun-Sentinel. At least for now, the mass murderer suitors are pinned at the wind. Jail officials who screen all letters to inmates said Cruz has not seen the letters and remain on suicide watch. As a matter of policy, authorities seize letters that contain obscene material, privileged communications, or threats to public safety. Okay? We read a few religious ones to him that extended wishes for his soul and to come to God. Broward County Police Defender Howard Finkelstein told the Sun-Sentinel, but we have not and will not read him the fan letters or share the photos of scantily clad teenage girls. Finkelstein added that he's never seen this many letters to a defendant in his 40 years as a public defender. Okay? Dozens of Amaros have also fled to social media, where some have claimed that they've gotten through to Cruz. I want you all to know that Nicholas knows about us, and he had the biggest smile on his face when he was told that we support him. One Facebook user wrote on a pro-Cruz group. When Zachary Cruz, Nicholas's younger brother, visited Nicholas in jail, the two discussed their popularity, according to prosecutors. Zachary's attorneys are expected to argue in court Thursday that his $500,000 bail on a trespassing charge is excessive. And that's the difference. Look, you got this dude is clearly I don't know, maybe he's adopted, maybe the other people, this is biological, whatever is making them brothers, although they're not related. You have a murderer here who killed 17 people, okay, taken in alive. He has trespassing. His bail is $500,000. Really? Really? The 18-year-old was arrested March 19 after authorities found him skateboarding at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School. So he's skateboarding at the high school. So he gets $500,000 and put in prison. The unseemly interest in Cruz may stem from women with poor parental relationships or a strong desire to save an apparently lonely and vulnerable figure, mental health experts told the paper. Now, my question is, why does this dude, is he going to prison for skateboarding and getting a $500,000 bail for skateboarding at a school? But again, you can't get people in our community to actually code up. What they do is they run around trying to figure out how can they get these cave devils who obsess over murderers, always are acting out of a bloodlust and have to be killing something to like them. Doesn't make any sense. But Black people will go out there and they'll align themselves with movements like the March for Our Lives and actually act as though something's going to happen. Meanwhile, you have the race soldiers still killing Black people. They're not even mentioning anything at that march, but you have Black people there somehow thinking that something's going to change on their account if they align themselves with this movement based on the effects of white on white crime. Meanwhile, white people are sending him sending him professions of love. I don't understand why Black people can't allow them to, like, you don't have to always throw on a cape for cave devils, but they'll do it. Let me know what you guys think of this. Thank you for your support. I'll see you in the next one.